The war in Ukraine has taken a decisive turn. A chilling new chapter has begun, marked by a daring and unorthodox Russian strategy. The weapon? A humble gas pipeline, transformed into a conduit for chaos. This audacious move, dismissed as mere propaganda by some, has shattered the northern front and sent shockwaves through the Ukrainian defense. It speaks to the desperation and ingenuity of a Russian force, bogged down but far from defeated. What seemed impossible is now a chilling reality. Russian boots on the ground, emerging from a narrow pipeline, striking at the heart of Ukrainian territory. This is no longer a war fought solely on land, air, and sea. It is a war where the very infrastructure of a nation becomes a weapon. The pipeline, a symbol of interdependence, is now a scar across the landscape, a testament to the ruthlessness of this conflict. The world watches, holding its breath as the ramifications of this audacious gamble unfold. Will it be a stroke of genius, or a desperate gamble by a faltering power? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the rules of engagement have irrevocably changed. The audacity of the pipeline operation has sent shockwaves far beyond the battlefield. It's a stark reminder that this conflict is far from over, and that Russia is willing to employ unconventional tactics to achieve its objectives. The world is now left to grapple with the implications of this bold move, pondering the lengths to which both sides will go in this brutal and unforgiving war. Suda, a small town on the northern front, has become the epicenter of the new Russian offensive. The town, strategically important due to its location near key supply routes, is now under siege from three sides, its defenders stretched thin and demoralized. The reason? The pipeline. What was once a conduit for energy is now a corridor for Russian troops. Emerging from the darkness, Russian paratroopers have infiltrated Ukrainian lines, sowing confusion and panic. The Ukrainian response has been hampered by confusion and miscommunication. Reports emerged of convoys dispatched to reinforce Suda, only to be decimated by artillery fire and a destroyed bridge. The fog of war is thick, and in the chaos it seems the Ukrainians are struggling to maintain a cohesive defense. The element of surprise is perhaps Russia's most potent weapon. The fall of Suda would be a significant blow to Ukrainian morale, and would give Russia a strategic foothold in the region. The battle for Suda is far from over, but the situation remains precarious for the Ukrainian defenders. The world watches as the fate of this small town hangs in the balance, a stark reminder of the human cost of this conflict. The Russian advance in the north has been relentless. In a matter of days, they have surged forward, gaining 6 kilometers of territory and encircling a substantial Ukrainian force. Villages like Kubatkino and Zazulka, once quiet backwaters, have become battlegrounds, their names etched into the grim narrative of this war. The speed and ferocity of the Russian advance have taken many by surprise. Ukrainian defenses, once thought to be formidable, have buckled under the pressure. The encirclement of Ukrainian troops paints a grim picture. Cut off from reinforcements and under constant bombardment, their situation grows more desperate by the hour. The fall of Chervasko-Paro, the garrison overrun and crushed, serves as a chilling reminder of the brutality of this conflict. The fate of those trapped, like the soldiers in Malaya Locha, hangs precariously in the balance. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable. The stories of those caught in the crossfire, their lives shattered by the violence, serve as a stark reminder of the urgency for peace. Section 4. Southern Kursk unyielding advance and the siege of Suda. In the south, the Russians are equally relentless. Ulanovo, with its strategic fields, has fallen. Cocky Hamlet, after days of fierce fighting, is now under Russian control. Makova, once a symbol of Ukrainian resistance, is now under siege, its fate hanging by a thread. The capture of these locations represents more than just territorial gains, it's a strategic stranglehold on the region. The siege of Suda, now under pressure from both north and south, tightens its grip. The city is a critical junction for supplies and reinforcements, and its loss would be a major blow to Ukraine's ability to defend the region. The relentless shelling and ground assaults have taken a heavy toll on the city's defenders and its civilian population. The situation in southern Kursk is a microcosm of the larger conflict, a brutal war of attrition, where gains are measured in meters and lives lost. Section 5. Breakthrough at Bagarova, the SEK Front ignites. The SEK Front, long a scene of bloody stalemate, has exploded into life. The Russians, after weeks of relentless pressure, have achieved a major breakthrough at Bagarova, a town that has earned the grim nickname the meat grinder for the ferocity of the fighting there. The Ukrainian defenses, stretched thin and exhausted, have finally crumbled. This breakthrough has opened a dangerous gap in the Ukrainian lines, allowing Russian forces to flank Vernum and Sker, two strategically vital villages. Reports from the front lines paint a picture of chaos and panic, with Ukrainian trenches overrun and soldiers desperately trying to regroup. The fall of Bagarova is a significant victory for the Russians, and could have far-reaching consequences for the rest of the SEK front. Section 6. Psychological warfare, the unseen front line. The physical battlefield is only one theater of this conflict. The pipeline operation, beyond its tactical significance, has struck a deep blow to Ukrainian morale. The audacity of the attack, the feeling of being outmaneuvered, and the vulnerability of their own infrastructure have sown seeds of doubt and fear. This is psychological warfare at its most potent. The message is clear: nowhere is safe. The pipeline, once a symbol of connection, is now a chilling reminder of the enemy's reach and ruthlessness. This psychological impact could prove as decisive as any victory on the battlefield. The ability of both sides to control the narrative, to manage morale and public opinion, will be crucial in determining the ultimate outcome of this conflict. Section 7. A grim outlook, the future of the conflict. The situation in Ukraine is increasingly precarious. The Russian advances in the north, south, and SEK front, coupled with the psychological impact of the pipeline operation, paint a grim picture for the country's future. The questions now are stark. How long can Ukraine hold out? The international community watches with bated breath, offering words of support and condemnations of Russian aggression. Yet, the tangible impact of these gestures remains to be seen. The coming weeks will be critical. The world